if you don't have oil, the next best thing to oil is milk. Milk is called a mucoid food, and so you can use milk the same way. Put some milk in a cup and just hold the cup tight to your eye and move it like that, and you'll dilute. The oil will be absorbed in the mucus of the milk. So it'll take away the pain and the burn of a peppermint really fast, just by learning, do you dilute it with either vegetable oil or milk. And also, we have a safety chart right here. This little part of the sensitivity is the skin sensitivity legend. Over here it tells you A stands for we can use it aromatically, T stands for we can use it topically, I internally. And there's a really fun little word here. It's called neat. You'll notice that the aromatic geeks that work together, they will say things like, oh, I applied lavender to my baby neat. And neat simply means that you do not have to dilute that essential oil. That's what neat means. And S says dilute it for sensitive skin like a baby, a 2 or 3 month old baby. You'd want to dilute it. And D means absolutely dilute this oil before consuming it. It's too hot. Like maybe a oregano oil or a really strong cayenne oil or something like that. These things need to be diluted before you ingest them because they're pretty strong. Or if you're going to apply them to your skin. Now, one time I was sitting in one of these classes and they told me that. They said oregano is really hot. Well, being Hispanic, I thought, well, geez, I'm always taking this stuff. So when it came around and they passed the oil around, I put 2 drops of oregano in my mouth. And let me tell you, I was in the back room turning purple and red and all kinds of colors because I'd never experienced the heat of that type of heat going down my throat. And somebody saw the look on my face and they immediately threw a bottle of fractionated coconut over there and said, you better start drinking this. And I started putting that oil in my mouth and swishing it around. And I was amazed. We're talking in 3 seconds, it quit burning. So I gained confidence that this really, really works to dilute these oils if you ever get them where they're too strong for you. Okay? So why did we choose doTERRA essential oils? These are the 3 reasons why. Number 1, they're pure. When we say pure, that means there are no artificial smells added to these oils. There are no artificial ingredients like colors or anything like that. There are no fillers in this product. So I used to sell essential oils for years in my health food stores, and I had no idea that some companies add safflower oil, coconut oil, vegetable oil. They add these oils, they'll put a few drops of real oil and then add these other oils to dilute the cost of a pure oil. And so they're still very effective. I had one I sold for years that was eucalyptus, wintergreen, and camphor for people to breathe really well. And I didn't know it was 80% safflower oil and only 20% essential oil. And it still worked wonderfully well. But now what we're teaching people today is how to use these oils 100% pure without any filler oils in them, okay? Now, why are they safe, or why do we make sure we're buying them safe? Because we want to be free of pesticides and any chemicals, especially if they're coming from a foreign country. Today we don't allow DPT and certain pesticides in America, but if we're buying a product from France, or from China or from Mexico, they may not have the same standards. So what we do is we set our standard with them prior to purchasing these oils. We set it with them and say, we'll buy them if you do not use this type of pesticide, herbicide, you have 100% organic fertilizers and that type of thing. And so what we've done to make sure it's safe is we've established some testing with some high expensive equipment called mass spectrometers and liquid chromatographs and things that can test these plants to make sure these pesticides weren't used on them. And then, in order for them to be standardized potent, which means we want all our lavender to have the same potency from year to year, month to month. And if we're buying them from these foreign countries, what would happen if there was, say, a hurricane in some place or a tornado in some place that we're buying these oils, and they're afraid, and they may want to harvest early. If we were all selling Red Delicious apples, when does a Red Delicious apple usually get ripe? What month? August, September. Yep. July, that's too early. And so what ends up happening is if we picked them green, they're still Red Delicious, but they're green. We might get a stomach ache. We might not have the right enzymes and the right sweetness. So we don't want to pull them green. We want to wait till they're mature and their potency of the sweetness of that apple is at its best. Well, the same thing happens with some of these plants that we buy to get the oils from. If they pull them too early, they will not be potent. And so this part of it, the active compounds, is very, very important that we're getting them full potency. Okay? So we have equipment to test that full potency and make sure that's what it is. So we put together a little presentation. We have what we call a family physician kit. It's a collection of 10 oils. We're going to go through them 10 oils. We're going to pass them around. We're going to let you taste them and touch them and smell them and understand how they work and what they do. And so in this collection of 10 oils, it happens to be this very kit right here. And in this kit, we're going to have 6 single oils and 4 essential blends of oils. And we're going to tell you the benefits of them so that you understand how to use them in your family and in your health program. This first one that we're going to go through is called lavender. We're going to have Tammy pass that around and we're going to open that up and have you each do it. One of the most effective ways to use lavender is to diffuse it like this. You'd put a couple drops of lavender in this diffuser with some water, and when you turn this diffuser on, it will put it in the air, the smell of that lavender, and whatever the benefit is, and the biggest benefit here is to calm things down. Okay, so whenever you want this calming effect, calm anxiety, calm tensions, calm stress, whenever you want that effect in the room, you could just diffuse it. But let's say you have irritated skin, like, say, some kind of itch, like the measles or something. You know how that itches? Well, you could use lavender and apply it to the skin neat. What does neat mean?
Straight up.
Straight up. You can apply this lavender straight up to an itch, and it will get rid of that itch. It will reduce the irritation, the nervous response, just like medications do. You're doing it naturally with no side effects, and you apply it topically, and it does a wonderful job. Or you could even put 3 or 4 or 5 drops of lavender in a hot bath and fall in, and it'll still do the same thing. It'll give you the same effects. Okay? You could massage the bottom of your feet, or a baby's feet, or a child's feet with a couple drops of this stuff, and it does wonderful things to reduce irritation or restlessness or stress. Wonderful, okay?